This Saturday is without a doubt the best fight of the year. Dmitry Bivol versus Beterbiev. What a fight this is going to be. I cannot wait to watch this. This is easily the best fight of the year, in my opinion. It's my most anticipated fight of the year. Undisputed at light heavyweight between these two guys. Cannot wait to watch it. Now, this is the definition of a 50-50 fight. They're very similar in height. They're very similar in reach. They're both undefeated. They're not really that similar in age. Bivol is younger than Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev might be going into this fight at 40 years of age. But nonetheless, this is the definition of a 50-50 fight. My mind has been chopping and changing all week on who I'm going to pick for this. And I have finally nailed on my prediction. Let's get into it. Dmitry Bivol has a current record of 23 wins, 0 losses, 12 KOs. He stands at 6 feet tall and he has a 72-inch reach advantage and he is 33 years of age. Now, Dmitry Bivol, his best win, who everyone will really know him for, is his win over Canelo Alvarez. What a performance Dmitry Bivol put on against Canelo Alvarez. Absolutely boxed that guy pillar to post in there. Canelo Alvarez, one of the greats. I'm pretty sure when Bivol fought him, he was pound for pound number one. I'm not too sure about that though. You might need to check that. But nonetheless, it was a great performance that he put on against Canelo Alvarez. A lot of people do put a lot of asterisks around that fight because Canelo Alvarez was moving up to Dmitry Bivol. But again, it's Canelo Alvarez. The guy was pound for pound number one, and Bivol took him to boxing lessons in there. He schooled him in there. Really made Canelo Alvarez look easy in there. It was a great performance from Bivol. Since then, he has had some wins against Ramirez, Lyndon Arthur. I think the Lyndon Arthur win, in terms of name value, isn't that bad. Let's not forget, Arthur beat Anthony Yarde. Now, I know Yarde beat him in the rematch, but a lot of people rate Anthony Yarde very highly. Lyndon Arthur beat him. I wasn't that impressed with the performance from Bivol in that fight. I do feel like he should have went up through the gears and got Lyndon Arthur out of there, but nonetheless. He's also beat the likes of Craig Richards, which is another good win, in my opinion. Moving on to Beterbiev. This guy has a professional record of 20 wins, 0 losses. All 20 wins come by KO. This guy's a freak. Freak. I don't think he's human. He is 39 years of age. He has a 73-inch reach advantage, and he is standing at 5 feet 11 inches. This is what I mean. Like, they are so close in every aspect. Height, reach, they are so close to each other. This is what I mean. This is a 50-50 fight. In terms of big wins for Beterbiev, you've got Callum Smith, Anthony Yarde, Marcus Brownie. Honestly, the list goes on and on. In my opinion, Beterbiev does have the better resume. Obviously, Bivol has the biggest win in terms of both guys' resume, and that is Canelo Alvarez. But I think as a resume as a whole, Beterbiev has the better resume. Now, getting into my prediction, Beterbiev is coming into this fight, like I said, at 39 years of age. So he is getting up there, but you wouldn't really notice it in this guy. Although he has suffered quite a lot of injuries recently, he is coming off an ACL injury, and I do think he is jumping into this fight maybe a bit too soon, in my opinion. I think he's made a really quick turnaround, but this guy's not human, to be honest. This guy's made in the lab somewhere. That is a big concern, though, is his age and this knee injury. Has he recovered properly? And those, I think we're going to see, is this going to play a big factor in this fight early on? Now, when this fight got announced, I was 100% convinced Bivol was going to beat Beterbiev. I thought he was going to do a good job of staying on the outside with his Soviet style, picking his shots, and not letting Beterbiev get close to him. I don't think that anymore. Sitting here right now, I think Beterbiev is going to break Dmitry Bivol. I think Bivol will do a great job of moving around the ring, and I think he will do a good job in the early stages of the fight at keeping Beterbiev off him. I just don't see him being able to do it for all 12 rounds, to be honest. Now, if he can, honestly, one of the best performances. Like, this will be such an impressive performance if Bivol can keep Beterbiev off him for all 12 rounds. Because let's be honest, Bivol's going to be the guy on the back foot the entire fight. He's not going to be the aggressor in there. And I don't think Bivol's the biggest puncher either, and I think he'll struggle to get Beterbiev's respect in there. And I think that's what you need to do. You need to earn his respect, or he's just going to walk through you. And unfortunately, I don't think Bivol has that snap in his shots to make Beterbiev respect him. Although, these guys have sparred multiple rounds with each other, so they know who's getting the upper hands in these. Now, yes, they were from years ago. Beterbiev was the senior and Bivol was in the junior section when it was coming to, was it the Olympics? I'm not too sure, at amateur level anyway. So these guys will know. Now, people might be looking into this too much, but it is something to talk about, and I think I'm kind of one of the people looking into it too much. During their face-to-face, Bivol seems to be as if it comes across like he looks up to Beterbiev, as if like, yeah, it comes across like it seems like Bivol's giving Beterbiev too much respect, in my opinion. Now, that might just mean that Bivol knows how good this guy is, and him and his team have left no stone unturned, and they know what they need to do to get the win here. It could be that, or it could be that he knows what's happened in those sparring sessions, and he knows what type of fight that he's in for, and yeah, and Beterbiev, on the other hand, he just says he hates everybody that he has to fight. This guy, honestly, I would not want to fight him. I think Dmitry Bivol will be winning the early rounds of this fight, but I think comes round 7, Beterbiev's going to break him. I think he's going to break Dmitry Bivol in there, and I think Beterbiev is going to stop Dmitry Bivol within rounds 10 to 12. I think the last 3 rounds, Beterbiev is going to have broken Dmitry Bivol down, and that's going to be all she wrote. I'm taking Beterbiev to win this, although it's such a 50-50 fight. If Bivol wins, I would not be surprised. Just going over some of the other fights on the card, you've got Fabio Wardley versus Fraser Clark. Again, I cannot wait for this fight. One of the best fights I've ever watched. What an absolute war that was. Fabio Wardley knocking down Fraser Clark. Fraser Clark busting up Fabio Wardley. The fight ended a draw. What a fight. Cannot wait for this fight. A lot of people are complaining that it's not taking place in the UK. I do understand where people are coming from, but in my opinion, just look at what those guys went through in that first fight. They're going to get paid more to fight out in Saudi Arabia. They should be fighting out in Saudi Arabia. They need to be paid for this fight because this is serious. Now, in terms of who I think is going to win, it all comes down to, has Fraser Clark worked on his engine? If Fraser Clark has the engine to go all of these rounds fairly comfortably and he won't gas, Fraser Clark should win this. He is the better boxer than Fabio Wardley. He's got more experience than Fabio Wardley, and I think he would be able to outbox him. We've seen him land the better shots in their first fight anyway, but Fabio Wardley had that engine. He's the bigger puncher out of the two, and he has that dog in him. But I think Fraser Clark will have worked on his cardio in there. I think, as you can see on the nose of Fabio Wardley, it's going to go again, and it's going to go again early, which is going to be very hard for Fabio Wardley to fight through, in my opinion. I think Fraser Clark is going to get the job done here. Going through some of the other fights on the card, Chris Eubank Jr. is in a gimme. He's going to win that. Jai Opetaia against Jack Massey, kind of a gimme for Jai Opetaia, in my opinion. He's going to win that by stoppage. Ben Whittaker against Liam Cameron. It's a good jump up in competition. It's a real jump up for Ben Whittaker, to be honest, from the no-name tomato cans he's been fighting. I am going to take Ben Whittaker to win this. I am going to take Sky Nicholson to win her matchup as well. So those are my predictions for Beterbiev versus Bivol, undisputed light heavyweight. This is the second best card Riyadh season have done, in my opinion. I don't think it's as good as the LA card. I think that is their best one, but this is second best in my opinion. I cannot wait for this card. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you again in the next one.